Welcome to the Online Digital Marketing Podcast. We'll be discussing marketing strategies, trends, and tips that will help your business succeed in the digital age. Every episode, we'll be interviewing industry professionals and providing valuable insights on how to leverage digital tools for maximum engagement and ROI. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date on the latest trends in online marketing.
All right, so you ready to snag some consulting clients? Well, you're in the right place. This PDF 17 Ways to Find Consulting Clients has a ton of tactics. We're talking everything from, tried and true methods to some really out-of-the-box thinking. Get ready for some aha moments.
Yeah, what I found interesting about this document is it doesn't assume one size fits all, right? It acknowledges that you might need different approaches, depending on your niche, your personality, even how much money you have to spend.
Exactly. It's like a whole toolbox.
Yeah.
And you get to pick which tools you like best. Speaking of tools I like, the first section here really caught my eye. Ditching the usual, getting creative. And the first thing that popped out was building a local business alliance. Now, this is not your typical networking group, right?
No, it's way more strategic. Think of it as a mini ecosystem. You're forming a mini ecosystem of businesses serving the same people, but offering different complementary services. So let's say you're a website designer and you specialize in restaurants. You could partner with a POS system provider, maybe a restaurant supply company, or even like a food photographer.
So you're all sending clients to each other, essentially leveraging, existing trust networks. And the document recommends sweetening the deal a bit. 10% commission, not just on the initial sale, but on every recurring monthly payment.
That is smart. It keeps your partners motivated to make sure their referrals stay happy with your services long term, creates lasting relationships, and more, predictable income, kind of like affiliate marketing, but in the real world.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, next is a tactic that I got to admit, I chuckled when I first read it. Snagging unclaimed Google My Business listings. Now, you might be thinking, how in the world does that land me clients?
Yeah.
But stick with me, this is actually really smart.
I think a lot of businesses, especially smaller ones, they just haven't claimed their Google My Business listing, or they're not using it to its full potential. So by finding these unclaimed listings, you're finding businesses that need help with their online presence, even if they don't know it yet.
You're like the knight in shining armor.
Yeah.
And they even give you a specific Google search formula to find these businesses. Ready? Okay, it's site.plus.google.com. Is this your business, plus your niche, plus the city and state?
So say you're a consultant for dentists. You help them with their online marketing. Plug that in, target a specific city, and boom, a list of potential clients who pretty much need your help.
Exactly. And because you come in with a solution to a very specific problem, you're not just another salesperson cold calling. You're the answer to their prayers. Okay, so speaking of being a valuable resource, this next section is all about being a little bit of a detective, using your online sleuthing skills to find those hidden client gems. First up, the Yelp.com goldmine.
This one's for consultants targeting businesses that are all about their Yelp reviews. The document suggests searching on Google using this formula: site.yelp.com, watch video, plus business type, plus city, state.
So why this specific search? Think about it. Businesses paying to have videos on their Yelp page.
Yeah.
They're already investing in marketing. They get it.
And they probably have the budget to invest in your services, too. It's a way of qualifying leads, making sure you're talking to businesses who are serious about growing. Which brings us to a key point, knowing your ideal client.
Yes, 100%. You want businesses that not only need your services, but are actually able to pay for them. Now, let's move on to a tactic that I personally love, using audits as a foot in the door.
This is brilliant. Show off your expertise, give real value up front, no strings attached. It's like a try before you buy situation. Yeah. So you could offer like a free website audit, an SEO analysis, or even a social media audit.
It's like a sneak peek of your brilliance. And the document really stresses that these audits have to be high quality. Don't just phone it in, right? You want to wow them. Leave them thinking, if this is what they offer for free, imagine what I'd get if I hired them.
Exactly. It's building that trust. It's about credibility, not just ticking boxes. Plus, a free audit can often reveal issues they weren't even aware of, so your services seem even more necessary.
Okay, so we talked about alliances, becoming internet detectives, and those valuable audits. Now let's step out of the digital world for a second and explore some good old-fashioned networking. Because, sometimes the best way to connect is face-to-face.
Absolutely. There's a certain power in a firm handshake, a good conversation. This PDF highlights some classic networking approaches that are still super effective today.
Starting with speaking engagements. Now, you don't have to be a world-famous speaker. The PDF suggests starting local, like joining your Chamber of Commerce. They often have events where they need speakers.
And this is where knowing your audience comes in. If you're talking to a bunch of restaurant owners, for example, focus on their digital marketing challenges and opportunities.
Right. Tailor that message. And, speaking of tailoring, they even give you a directory of chambers of commerce across the U.S. That's a handy resource. Okay, from speaking, let's move on to another classic, local networking groups.
These can be hit or miss, right? But the key is your mindset. It's not about handing out a million business cards. It's about making connections, finding people who actually need what you offer.
And don't limit yourself to just the traditional networking groups. Check out meetup.com. You might be surprised by the variety, and there might be groups that are perfect for your target audience. Or, hey, you could even start your own.
It's about finding your people, finding those who understand what you do and who might be happy to refer you to others. And before we leave networking, let's not forget LinkedIn groups. I know they've gotten a bit of a bad rap lately.
People say they're not what they used to be.
Yeah, true. But I still think they can be valuable, especially if you use them right.
It's all about being strategic.
Exactly. The key is to focus on giving real value. Don't just spam the group with promotional stuff. Share your knowledge, answer questions, engage in meaningful conversations.
Become that thought leader, a go-to expert. When you build that credibility in a group, potential clients are going to start noticing.
Exactly. It's about building that reputation, not just chasing leads. Speaking of chasing, I think it's time to address a topic that makes many people cringe. Direct outreach.
Yeah, I know. It can feel a little scary, right? But this document has some really great tips on how to do it well, especially on platforms like LinkedIn and Facebook.
It all comes down to, being human. Approach your outreach as if you're starting a conversation with an actual person, not a robot, not sending some generic sales pitch.
Exactly. It really stresses being genuine. Ditch the salesy language. Instead, focus on how you can help solve their problems.
You want to spark their interest, Make them want to learn more.
Exactly. And for those willing to spend a bit more, they mentioned LinkedIn Sales Navigator. It's a powerful tool to target very specific people and personalize your messages.
Like a personal matchmaker for your business.
I love that analogy. Okay, last but not least in this section, a tactic I found very clever, strategic Facebook page interaction. What does that even mean?
Well, think about it. Most businesses are on Facebook these days, right? Posting updates, sharing things, talking to their followers.
So the idea is interact with potential clients' Facebook pages as your business page.
Yep. Leave thoughtful comments, share insights, show off your knowledge of their industry. It's a way to get noticed without being pushy.
You're becoming a valuable part of their little community. You never know, that interaction might just spark a conversation, which leads to a new client.
It's all about planting seeds, nurturing relationships.
All right, so we've covered a lot already, from building local alliances to mastering that subtle Facebook interaction. But we're just getting started.
There's a lot more to uncover.
This treasure chest is overflowing with advice. Welcome back. We're digging deeper into 17 ways to find consulting clients. This section is where things get really interesting. We're talking about strategies that might cost a little bit of money and some bold moves that could have big rewards.
Yeah. It's like leveling up in your client acquisition journey. These strategies might not be for everyone, especially if you're just starting out, but as your business grows and you have a little more to spend, they're worth checking out.
Absolutely. Let's dive in with a strategy that's super popular these days, building an online funnel.
I know the word funnel can sound a bit intimidating, but really it's just a system. It guides potential clients through different steps, and eventually they become paying customers.
Think of it like a roadmap.
Yeah.
You're taking them on this journey, and each step builds trust and brings them closer to saying, yes, I want to hire you.
Exactly. And the great thing about an online funnel is that you can automate a lot of it, like email sequences, landing pages. You can even use online courses to nurture those leads. They move through the funnel at their own pace.
You work smarter, not harder, right? Now, building an effective funnel definitely takes time. You have to put in the work. You need to understand your target audience, create great content, and plan out those steps very carefully.
But the payoff can be huge. A well-designed funnel can bring in leads like clockwork. That frees up your time to focus on what you're best at, delivering those amazing consulting services.
Okay, let's switch gears from the digital world to a strategy that's all about real-life connections. Industry events.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Conferences can be expensive, and they can be. But this document makes a great point about going to or even sponsoring industry events, ones that are relevant to the clients you want.
Remember that story about the $10,000 sponsorship that led to over $500,000 in new business? That's a pretty amazing return on investment.
Of course, not every event is going to be that successful, but industry events are gold mines for meeting potential clients, building those relationships, and becoming a thought leader in your space.
It's a chance to meet people face to face, have real conversations, and truly showcase your expertise.
Exactly. Those personal connections often lead to long-term business.
Now, from industry events, let's talk about a strategy that's been around forever, but it can still be surprisingly effective. Local newspaper ads.
I know, right? In the age of social media, you think, newspaper ads, really?
Yeah.
But the document brings up a good point. Lots of businesses, especially those focused on their local community, they still rely on print advertising.
And here's the thing. Many businesses are doing it wrong. They're not targeting the right people, their message isn't grabbing anyone's attention, and they're not even tracking if it's working or not.
That's where you, the consultant, come in. You can be their newspaper ad hero, help them figure out what's working and what's not, then create a strategy that actually brings in customers.
It's not just about selling ad space, it's about selling expertise, showing them how to use their advertising budget more effectively.
Exactly. You bring a fresh set of eyes, a data-driven approach to this traditional way of marketing. Speaking of data, this next strategy can be a real game changer, but you gotta be careful. Lead lists.
Lead lists are tempting, especially if you're new to the game. It feels like a shortcut to finding tons of potential clients. But this PDF wisely tells us to be careful.
The quality of these lists can be all over the place. Some are outdated, some have mistakes, or maybe they're just not focused on your specific niche.
You don't want to waste your precious time and money chasing after leads that lead to nowhere.
Nope, you don't.
So before you spend money on a lead list, do your research. Look into the company selling it, see how recent and accurate the data is, and make sure it's a good fit for the kind of clients you want.
And even if you find a really good list, don't just send the same generic message to everyone. Take the time to make it personal. Divide the list into smaller groups based on what they might need, and tailor your message to each group. Talk to them like real people, not just names on a list.
Now, are you ready for a strategy that's a little bit daring? The PDF calls this the competitor client conquest.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. What is it exactly?
It's about approaching clients of your competitors, but not in a sneaky, unethical way. It's about recognizing that some clients might not be happy with their current provider. Maybe they're not getting what they need, or they're just looking for something better.
So you're not stealing clients, you're offering them a better choice, a fresh start.
You're presenting yourself as someone who can truly meet their needs.
Exactly. You're saying, hey, I can do this better. I can be more valuable to you.
But how do you approach them without being too pushy or aggressive?
By offering something genuinely valuable right from the start. Don't just jump in with a sales pitch. Give them something helpful, something that shows you know your stuff and you understand their problems.
Like what?
The PDF suggests offering a free audit or sharing an interesting article that relates to their business, maybe even a free consultation.
You're showing them what you can do, proving your worth, building that trust right away.
Exactly. And of course, you always want to be ethical and respectful. Focus on building a good relationship and showing them what makes you unique.
Let's take a little break from client getting strategies and talk about something just as important, your mindset. Because finding clients can be a bit of a roller coaster, especially in the beginning.
You're going to get rejected sometimes. You're going to have moments of doubt. It's easy to feel discouraged.
That's why this PDF has a whole section dedicated to the mental side of consulting.
It's a good reminder that success in consulting, or any business really, is just as much about your mindset as it is about strategy and tactics.
So what are some of the key takeaways from this section?
Well, I think the most important one is having a growth mindset. Be open to learning new things, to trying different approaches, and just always getting better at what you do.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes. See those setbacks as opportunities to learn and grow.
Exactly. It's also super important to have a good support system. Connect with other consultants, maybe join some online communities, or find a mentor who can guide you and cheer you on.
Building a consulting business can be lonely. Having people who understand what you're going through can make all the difference.
And finally, don't forget to celebrate your wins, no matter how big or small.
Yeah.
Acknowledge your progress. Treat yourself for your hard work. And stay focused on your long-term goals.
Building a successful consulting business takes time, dedication, and a whole lot of grit.
It does.
All right, we've covered a lot in this part of our deep dive. From old school tactics like newspaper ads to the more adventurous approach of reaching out to competitors' clients. And of course, the importance of having a strong, resilient mindset.
I'm feeling energized and ready to tackle anything. How about you?
Definitely. This PDF is like a treasure map, leading us to all sorts of valuable gems.
And there's more where that came from. In the final part of our deep dive, we'll uncover even more strategies and insights to help you attract the perfect clients and build that thriving consulting business you've always dreamed of.
Stay tuned. Our quest for client-finding wisdom isn't over yet. Welcome back for the final part of our deep dive into this amazing PDF, 17 Ways to Find Consulting Clients. We've talked about so much already. Building partnerships, becoming online detectives, even the idea of going after your competitors' clients. And of course, we talked about the importance of having the right mindset.
We've really covered a lot of ground.
We have. But there's more to discover. Today, we're looking at some tactics that can really take your client acquisition to the next level. Maybe not the most obvious ones, but they offer some unique ways to connect with those ideal clients.
It's like we've climbed this consulting mountain and now we're at the top with this amazing view.
I love that analogy. So let's start with something that might seem a bit old school in our digital world. BNI. That stands for Business Network International.
BNI is all about referrals. It's a really structured networking organization. Members meet regularly, but it's not just about chatting and handing out business cards. The focus is on giving and getting qualified referrals.
It's like a networking group on steroids, where everyone's committed to helping each other succeed.
Exactly. And the PDF points out that BNI can be really valuable for consultants who are just starting out, or if you're trying to expand your network in a specific industry.
Because you've got this whole team of people actively looking for ways to send clients your way.
Yeah.
It's like having a built-in sales force working for you.
That's a great way to put it. But BNI is not magic, of course. It takes work. You got to be committed, participate actively, and genuinely want to help others.
It's a two-way street. You get out what you put in. Now let's move from the structured world of BNI to a platform that can feel a bit like a Wild West. LinkedIn.
Oh yeah, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
It's an amazing tool for connecting with other professionals, but it can also be super noisy and overwhelming. The PDF gets that, and it gives some great advice on how to cut through the clutter and make real connections.
And it all comes down to this. Provide value.
Right. Don't just send those generic connection requests, and please don't spam people with sales pitches.
Right.
Focus on building genuine relationships. Offer something helpful, something useful.
Like what?
The PDF suggests reaching out to potential clients with some thoughtful insights, maybe share a relevant article, or even just a simple message saying you admire their work.
It's about starting a conversation.
Yeah.
Piquing their interest, showing them you're not just another random person. You're someone they should pay attention to.
Right. You're a resource. And if you're willing to spend a little money to up your LinkedIn game, they mention LinkedIn Sales Navigator. It's a powerful tool for finding the right people and crafting the perfect message for them.
It's like having a personal assistant for your networking. Now let's switch gears again to a platform that we usually think of for personal connections, not business. Facebook.
Facebook for business. Really?
I know, it sounds a little strange, but the PDF actually makes a strong case for using Facebook strategically to connect with potential clients.
Okay, I'm listening.
It starts with remembering what Facebook is all about. Relationships.
True.
So don't think of it as a place to hard sell your services. Think of it as a place to build rapport, have conversations, be part of the community.
Makes sense.
The PDF suggests connecting with potential clients as friends, joining groups related to their industries, and just being present in those conversations.
So it's about being active, but not in a pushy way.
Exactly. As you're building those relationships, look for natural ways to showcase your expertise, to let people know what you do. Don't just blast everyone with promotional stuff or try to sell them something right away. Be helpful. Share your knowledge. Let your actions speak louder than words.
I like that approach. Subtle, but effective.
Okay, let's talk about something a little more advanced, but it has the potential to bring in clients without you having to constantly hustle. Building an online funnel.
Funnels. We talked about those briefly before, but the PDF really goes deep on how to build one that works.
It does. And it all starts with understanding your ideal client's journey. What steps do they take from the moment they realize they have a problem to the point where they're ready to hire someone like you?
You need to map that out.
Once you understand that journey, you can create a funnel that guides them through each stage. Offer them valuable content, build that trust, and ultimately lead them to the decision to hire you.
And the great thing about a funnel is that a lot of it can run on autopilot. You can use email sequences, landing pages, even online courses to keep those leads engaged and moving through the funnel at their own speed.
It's a way to streamline your client acquisition, make it more predictable. Of course, building a funnel takes time and effort, and yeah, sometimes you have to spend some money.
But if you do it right, the payoff can be amazing. A well-built funnel can bring in leads 24/7 even while you're sleeping. That frees up your time to focus on what you're best at, being an amazing consultant.
Okay, from the online world, let's shift back to the power of in-person connections. We're talking about industry events again.
There's something special about being in the same room with potential clients, right? Industry events are great for that.
They are. And the PDF doesn't just talk about attending events. It encourages us to think about sponsoring events as a way to stand out and get noticed.
Remember that story about the $10,000 sponsorship that brought in over $500,000 in new business?
Amazing, right? Of course, not every event is going to have that kind of impact, but sponsoring an event gives you a platform to really show off your expertise, connect with the people who make decisions, and generate valuable leads.
It's a great way to position yourself as a leader in your industry.
And finally, we come to a strategy that's both simple and powerful: audits. We've talked about these a lot during this deep dive, and for good reason.
They're like a secret weapon for showcasing what you know, building credibility, and getting people interested in working with you.
And remember, the PDF emphasizes making those audits top-notch.
Yeah, they got to be good.
Don't just point out problems. Offer solutions. Don't just throw data at them. Give them real insights and recommendations they can actually use.
And tailor that audit to their specific needs.
Show them that you've really taken the time to understand their business and the challenges they face. Make them feel like they're the only client you have.
It's all about personalization.
Well, we've reached the end of our deep dive into these 17 ways to find consulting clients. We've unearthed so many valuable gems, from strategic partnerships to online funnels, from the boldness of approaching competitors' clients to the power of a well-crafted audit.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. I'm feeling inspired. What about you? What are some of the key takeaways that have stuck with you?
I think what stands out most is the importance of being strategic. Figure out what you want to achieve, how much you can spend, and what feels right for you. Then choose the strategies that align with all of that.
There's no one right way to find clients. It's about finding what works for you, experimenting, and always being open to learning and trying new things.
Absolutely. And never forget, building relationships is key. Provide value, show off your expertise, and be the kind of consultant people want to work with.
Because at the end of the day, people hire people they know, like, and trust. So go out there, be bold, be creative, and build a consulting business that makes you proud.
We'll be back next week with another deep dive, exploring another topic that will help you grow your business. Until then, happy client hunting.
Ready to take your online business to the next level? Subscribe to our digital marketing podcast and then join our Accountability for Success Mastermind. With expert advice from industry leaders, you'll gain knowledge and insights that will help you succeed in today's digital marketing world. From social media strategies to search engine optimization, we have all the tools you need. Learn from successful entrepreneurs and take control of your online success. Join the Accountability for Success Mastermind now at bit.ly/AFSM podcast.